Guys, we are about to start the Calypso clone, aka the People's Fox engine build. Let's change it up, guys. Let's do a time lapse on the teardown of this engine. It's just nuts and bolts. There's not a lot to show you. Take things off until nothing else is left. After we're done with this, we're going to talk a little bit about the plans for the car. I'm going to show you all the parts, and we're also going to talk about future plans for Andrew's car. See you in a few.
I believe in honesty, so honestly, your simple problems never bother me. Putting in this overtime, I'm about my worth, watching my words, never waste a breath on earth. Watch my words, never waste a breath on earth. Watch my words, never waste a breath on earth. Yeah. Yeah. You just gotta do it. Let's go. Let's go. You just gotta get it from where you can get it. Come on. You see all these people out there with their hands out asking for favors. Just get out there and put the work in. Make your own money, man. Raise your own kids. Shout out to the crew that used to hang out on Pennsylvania Wheeling. What up, Joey? Listen to my 6-track.
And there it is, guys. We got it done. Got it knocked out.
I did.
Yeah, Andrew said he did. Andrew didn't do anything. Andrew, as a matter of fact, just showed up.
Apologize for having you guys.
As you can see, this thing's pulled apart. Now, you might say, oh, well, that's the easy part. Yeah, not really. And let me tell you why. It sucks pulling all this nasty, greasy crap off this car. It's way more fun going back with all of those new parts over there. So, honestly, I'm really excited about putting everything back together, but that's going to have to wait a little while. Everything needs to be cleaned up under the hood. All these parts need to be resprayed, cleaned up. Anyway, let's go over here real quick and talk about what we've got. So obviously we have new bolts here. We have the reducer bushings for the 7/16 bolts, because those heads have the 1/2-inch hole for a Windsor. We have head studs for the valve covers here, GT40 upper intake gasket. We have new hardened push rods, because you got to have those. 38-pound injectors and calibrated mass air meter. Right here are the Trick Flow roller rockers, and man, I ain't gonna lie to you guys, I really like these. They're small. I've had some Proforms and some Cranes and some Comps in the past, and these just seem smaller, a little lighter to me, but they're really good looking roller rocker. They're 3/8 stud. We have a new set of roller lifters right here for the car, because the ones that we had are, yeah, they're about shot. Basically, after the car sits for a couple days, they lose their prime. So right here we have the new SVE 70mm throttle body, new timing chain, new water pump, and here is the camshaft. Let's talk about the camshaft for a second, because last time we talked, I told you guys I was going to go with the Anderson N41. Well, I don't think we're going to do that. Somebody in the comment section mentioned that that was too big of a cam for those heads, and it kind of got me thinking, maybe it is. The problem is Anderson doesn't like to give out their specs. Well, finally found the specs for the N41, and it's like a 544 lift with a good amount of duration. So honestly, guys, with these SVE heads being a 202 valve, I think it's best that we stay with something a little smaller. So we went with the Trick Flow Stage 1 cam, which is also a good blower cam. So that might work out good for us, you know, down the road. Look, this is the deal though. It's just a camshaft. It's just a cam swap. If we need to, we'll go to the B31 next. That's the cam that I really wanted to put in the car, but we don't want to be cutting it too close with a large cam and not having enough clearance. And I'm not pulling this engine out to go get the pistons fly cut. I know there's a tool out there that you can use to cut them inside the block, which I did think about doing, but we just don't have time for that. So we're going to go, like I said, with the TFS Stage 1 camshaft. The car should sound really good. We're also going to put the tailpipes back on. Right over there in the corner is the tailpipes. So we will have those back on the car. Obviously we have all the gaskets, all the new gaskets. We didn't go with Cometic gaskets or anything. As of right now, we're not going to be boosting the car, spraying the car, or anything like that. Probably still run those. Anyway, we have valve cover gaskets right here. These are the SVE rubber gaskets. We have one header gasket. We got to get another one. Intake gaskets, timing chain cover gasket, front seal, and in here are the heads. So these are the SVE aluminum heads, or 202-160 valves. So let's talk about those heads real quick. Like, as we know, a trick flow twisted wedge head with 202-160 valves, you can run a bigger lift cam with those heads. And the reason is the angle of the valve. With the 202 valve with these stock reliefs, basically the valve is too big for these reliefs right here to hit dead on. So from my understanding, a twisted wedge head angles the valves ever so slightly so that they come in at more of an angle, and you can get a little bit more depth out of there. Yeah, I'm no head expert here, so I can't really tell you exactly what's going on, but this is what you need to know. On a standard, like, straight line head, say if you took a stock E7 head and you put 202-160 valves in it, you're not going to be able to run even an E-cam, more than likely. So you need a head that is designed to be able to make some clearance for you, and the TFS twisted wedge heads are that way. And like Andrew said, there's some other heads out there that are too. With the SVE heads, I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to run a big cam or not. Well, did a little bit of research, and from what I can tell, with the Trick Flow Stage 1 cam, you don't really have any clearance issues. I was watching one of the LMR videos. They ended up with 100 thousandths piston to valve clearance with a TFS Stage 1 cam and the SVE heads on a stock engine. So stock valve reliefs and all that. So to me, 100 thousandths is more than enough clearance. I know some of you like a little bit more. If you're spraying the car and you're really turning it up high, then, you know, maybe you need more clearance. Anyway, so that's the plan, guys. This is what we've got. We also have a set of headers for the car that we're going to put in. Last time I did mention that we're going to be running 410 gears, but I forgot to mention the stall. So we have a 3500 stall. Well, so it was told to me it was a 3500. Now, 3500 is going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot for this car, but with the 410 gears, hopefully it helps a little bit. If it's too much, then we'll pull it out and we'll just have to get ourselves a different stall, like a 2500, something like that. But it's worth a try anyway. So we're going to try that stall out. What else, Andrew? Are we forgetting anything? Our thought process is with the lower gear like that, it should be a little easier on the transmission, and it shouldn't force the car to stall as much. So we'll see. We'll see on that. It's still going to probably flash at whatever. But as far as like everyday driving with the lower gears in the car, it should be a little easier on it. So, you know what, we'll see. We'll find out. We are very aware that at some point we're going to probably toast this transmission, and it may happen sooner than not. But either way, when that happens, we'll work on trying to go get the transmission built. Now, we're not going to build the transmission. We're not transmission guys. We got some really good news though for Andrew's car. So there were some parts sent in from you guys that we ended up not using on this build, which was the E-cam, and we have another upper and lower GT40 intake. So it looks like Andrew is going to reap the rewards of that. So, you know, I don't feel bad about not using it because Andrew's going to use it. So you're still going to get to see it on the channel. That's my gift to him for all the help that he's done. I mean, he's helped me with this car and everything else I've ever worked on. So I think it's just right to give him the cam and bring his car over here and let's tear in and do it. Now, I will tell you this, Andrew's a little reluctant about doing anything to the car because he kind of wanted to keep it not necessarily stock, but just very streetable. So he doesn't want to make the car.
I don't want to make it into another black car.
Yeah, you don't want to make it into a race car, basically like the black car. So the E-cam should be perfect. His car's an AOD also, and we're going to put 373s in his car. So be looking forward to that before too long. Now, that's not at the top of Andrew's list of things to do, but we are going to get that thing over here pretty soon and get him going also. This is where we are, and it's going to take us probably till next weekend. So right now it's Saturday. I have to work tomorrow. So here in about a week, you should see this car back on the road, and hopefully, cross your fingers, everything goes off without a hitch and everything looks really good. So All right, guys. Until next time, as always, thanks for watching.